Hi, Odie Carmona representing Hadari Law Group. Today we have Madelyn Oropeza here from Help of Southern Nevada. She is going to briefly explain a program that's been around since 1984 in the state of Nevada, and it's called the Nevada Displaced Homemaker Program. Welcome, Madelyn. How are you today?
I'm fine. Thank you for inviting me.
Oh, my pleasure. I know Help of Southern Nevada is an awesome organization in Las Vegas that's been doing so much work for so many years. And the Displaced Homemaker is actually one of your programs that's dear to my heart. So, how's it going? What's going on? How do you register? What is the latest and the greatest on the Displaced Homemaker Program at Help?
Well, we just were granted 4 more years to work. So we can
Congratulations.
assist the displaced homemakers that are in the community, seeking assistance. And let me explain to you what a displaced
I
homemaker
was just going to ask
is.
you that. Thank you.
So a displaced homemaker is it's a family member who maintain the home while other family member, was the primary wage earner. And our program was created because let me explain to you something like traditional. The woman who stays at home, taking care of the children, and someone else
Is
was
the
working,
breadwinner
the breadwinner, But now they find themselves either divorced or being
widowed?
widows, or or they were taking care of someone else's in the family, and now they need to find employment. What happens is that because they stay home, they never got the work experience. They don't know how to start, where to go, and they don't have any skills to even find employment. Just picture somebody in that situation. Now I'm divorced. What am I going to do, right? So this program was created. Um, by the it was a bill was created. You know, called the Displaced Homemaker, and they decided that every divorce that they grant at the family courts, they will provide some
Right.
fees
The
to
program,
us. Yes.
exactly. The program is funded by divorce fees in the state of Nevada,
Right.
by each county. So wherever you live in Nevada and you get a divorce, you pay a $35 fee. That $35 fee is what supports the Displaced Homemaker Program for our state. And again, it's one of those programs that you say, really? Come on, really? But there are women and men out there that have depended on someone all their lives. They have no idea how to fill an application. Some of them don't even know how do you pay a bill? How do you go online? How do you get a checking account? And it may sound crazy, but it's true because they've been either a homemaker all their lives or taking care of someone else, and the financial responsibilities have never fallen on them and they've never realized anything else.
Yes.
And so once they get into the program, of course, there's an application they have to fill because they have to qualify. And but once they qualify, what happens after that?
Well, we assign them a career coach so they can design a plan on so they can find employment. The goal is to find employment, so they can become self-sufficient. But part of that, plan is for them to attend some workshops. We have a calendar that we design every month with everything's job readiness workshops, and includes also some financial or
And it's
any,
free.
and
It's
it's
free to the
totally
public.
free. Yes,
You don't have to be a displaced homemaker to attend any workshops that help of Southern Nevada.
not
That's the
at all.
beautiful thing.
Yes, and the workshops are in person and also via Zoom. So it's also convenient for whoever doesn't have transportation or has children. That way they can attend the workshops. It's convenient for them.
Okay, so now I'm the displaced homemaker. I've filled out my application. I'm eligible for the program. I have my career coach. Now I start doing career explorations. Now I start attending workshops so I know interview skills. And but what happens after that? I mean, I get a job, but how do I better myself from originally starting, at the bottom? What other services or resources could you offer the participant once they've completed like the DH program?
Okay, so if they find employment, we still keep them in our program so that we can still be their support to see what's happening. We can continue following up with them, and if they still need assistance. So let me give you an example. Let's say that someone finds employment, and we assisted them even before we're providing them supportive services, but they still haven't got their paycheck and they still need transportation to get to work. So then we still holding their hand so that they can have the services they need to keep that job.
Now, explain, you said supportive services. What is exactly supportive services through the DH program?
So supportive services, it's anything that can remove a barrier, but the typical ones are transportation, work cards, any clothing, interview clothing that they might need. It can be something specific that the employer asks. Sometimes they ask for specific boots for the job.
So those are the items, for instance, like I said, all of a sudden I find a job, I go to your closet, Dress for Success, I'm able to pick out an outfit so it's fitting to the interview. I'm getting the bus pass so I can make sure, or gas cards too, right? If you own a car.
Yes.
Okay, so now I've got the transportation, now I get the job. Now you're actually following me for about a year or a little less or whatever, but I'm always able to come back and call you, Madelyn, hey, or I got laid off, or whatever the case may be.
Yes, and if that happens, then we continue again.
We start the process
again, to assist them to again find employment.
Right. Now, through the years, I've heard some beautiful stories from the Displaced Homemaker Program. Do you have any success stories that really touched your heart during the last couple of years, especially during the COVID and all those trials and tribulations that participants had to go through?
We have a lot of stories, right? So we're gonna share one. So I had one. This was a woman, but because we do assist both men and women, I want to specify that. This was a woman who came to our program. She was having housing issues. She even will stay at our location, to volunteer because she didn't even have a place to go, And she did everything she could. She followed our program. We first assisted her getting a part-time job. This was through an agency that assisted, but not assisted, but worked with us, like collaborated with us. And she started working with them. She didn't even speak the language, English as a second language. So when she attained the employment, it was just part-time. And we assisted her with paying for her fingerprint. We assisted her with all the workshops. Obviously, we provided her clothes, transportation, and she got hired there temporarily. This was a Clark County School District, and now I heard that she's now full-time working there, and she's
excited.
She's very happy.
Yeah,
yes.
she's benefits, and that's just important for her.
Yes, and one of the bigger barrier was the language barrier, but we were able to even, cater to her needs, and she's very grateful. She comes back and she found what she needed. Her housing situation changed. Now she's
Stabled.
She's stable, and she's happy. I saw her and she just hugged me and said she was very happy with the help that she received from us.
Years ago, I received a success story from Help, and it was a man. And men are far and few in between in the program. And I don't know if it's a stigma of men not wanting to get the help or asking for help or what it is, but it's a great program for all. But this gentleman, his wife passed away and he had a little girl. And he had a job, but they co-enrolled him in another program where he was able to get an IT certification for like a 3 or 6 month certification. And all of a sudden, here he was from making $32,000 a year, he went to $60,000 a year. And so he was able to keep the apartment, the same place where his daughter, had been living for years. And when I read that story, I'm like, good, way to go, man, way to go. Way to put your ego or your machismo or whatever you want to call it on the side and get that help that you need, because we all need a push and a help in our lives.
Well, you were just mentioning what happened also during COVID and how were we able to assist. Well, let me tell you that lately we've been getting a lot of men into our group. Maybe the word is going out, but one of the things is that we have some training dollars, right? That we were able to utilize to pay for their CDL drivers.
Yes, commercial driver's license.
Yes.
Very big program right now in Las Vegas is the truck driving. Yes.
Yeah, and that was also due to COVID. You know that now they need a lot of truck drivers. So some men that
Came
are
into the
displaced
program?
came into the program. They were able to attend, you know, the training, get their license, and now get like you say, being high earners.
Exactly,
and
exactly.
change their life, and that's what we need.
And the other thing too is I was speaking to someone that was saying about the entrepreneurship availabilities when you're a truck driver, because then once you own your truck, now profits are yours, and you know it's a little bit more. So that is amazing. During COVID, I remember Help did a great job in converting everything electronically. I mean, within a month or two, the workshops were online. Everybody was home, working from home, but connecting with the participants. We had several Zoom meetings during that time.
Yes.
So I feel like Help is always helping the community in one way, shape, or another.
Well, we always have to find a way.
Exactly.
You know, being nonprofit, you have some limitations, but also a lot of opportunities to be creative and to find, you know, either community partners that will do it, people like you that are here, you know, believing in our program and what we do for the community. But we also have the opportunity of being very creative, and we have to do what we have to do with whatever resources we have. That's what I've learned. I've worked in nonprofits for over 20 years, and that's how it is. You know, you have
You're dealt the cards, and you just have to deal with it.
That's
Yep.
what we do.
Oh, awesome, Madelyn. Well, thank you so much for taking time and coming on the podcast.
Thank you for
Help Us
inviting me.
Southern Nevada is located on, what is it?
1640 is Flamingo Road.
Okay. And it's actually between Maryland Parkway and
Eastern.
and
Main-
Eastern. And Eastern. So, you know, to call them with any type of questions. The other thing I wanted to also let the community know is that there's a 211 number for Nevada. 211 is a number that will give you resources to everything and anything in our state. And I believe it's nationwide. So if you live in Las Vegas or in Reno or in Ely, Pahrump, you have something, you have a question, you have a problem, call 211. There's plenty of organizations too that can help you. But if you're in Las Vegas, go to Help Us Southern Nevada. You'll get the help you need.
And our number there is 702-369-4357.
Thank you, Madelyn. Again, Hadari Law Group, thank you so much. All righty. Bye-bye.